Okay, here for game 5, playing for a lot of marbles. And I have a good hand, I'll keep.
Yeah, same.
If you roll.
Go.
Interesting. I'm going to play Tormenting Voice, and let's discard a wall of mounts.
Sure.
You can go.
I'll play Hangerback for 1 pass.
And I just want to get the hanger back off the board.
Poor Hangerback.
You go to Thopter.
Never gets to do his thing.
You can go.
So this is a slightly less efficient play, or excuse me, a slightly less efficient play, but Nibbles of Frost is a pain, so I'll transgress.
Am I not going to be able to turn 4 Niblis?
Nope.
Yeah.
For once. Won you.
I accept. 4 to 5 ain't so bad.
Yep.
Cantrip this take inventory.
Sure.
Oh, if you roll.
And I'll hit you for 1, play a Haunted Dead, pass.
18. And play Dark Dwellers.
Yep.
And what do I want to flashback? I could see all of them.
What is the last card in your hand that I know? 4 of the pages?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I am just going to flashback Tormenting Voice, discarding the Shivan Reef.
Yep.
Just dig the most through my deck. You can go.
It's not bad.
Also, don't want to take any of these other cards out of my graveyard because they power up the rest of them that are in my deck.
I guess I will just make the most efficient play. I'll play Catacomb Sifter, make a sign. I'm going to sack the sign for mana.
Yep.
I'll pay a life. I'm going to scry.
You're at
I
19.
will keep... Do I want to keep this? Awfully close. I assume Ross is going to have to do something fairly soon to make this card worthwhile. And I do have a Westvale Abbey. So I think I want this. Maybe not. Might just end up dead in my hand. I'm going to bottom it. Might be bad. All right, I'm going to Ruinous Path this, and I'll hit you for 4.
I'm at 14.
Yep, go.
Oh, that was a great draw. Chandra -3.
Yep, that's unfortunate.
I got greedy and discarded my 6th land.
Okay, discard 3.
Yeah.
We'll keep this on top.
Okay. Your Sifter.
Oh.
Might want to get that one back at some point.
I'll play Guy of the Puck.
Spell Mastery, yep.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What do we got?
Just hit a Catacomb Sifter.
I accept.
And I will...
Propulsion and the ultimate price.
Guess... Guess pay a life and play the Catacomb Sifter and pass.
So you're at 18?
Yep.
18, 14? Scion somewhere, yeah. Okay, so we can kill the Sifter plus our Chandra, and then it is not in danger anymore, so I have time to cast this Pour.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Discard Fiery Temper, untap 2 lands, temper the Sifter. And plus Chandra, type for 6.
Sure, 12.
12. These go end step. Then I'll play land and a Jace.
Good lord.
You
Your
go.
hand was so terrible 2 turns ago.
And I drew 8 cards in the last 2 turns.
Guess we'll just play a Haunted. Trigger that. Your turn.
Okay. So...
Getting pretty punished for bottoming that prized amalgam, but...
Do you have a Haunted Dead in your graveyard?
Yep.
Interesting. So... You have 2 cards in hand?
Yep.
So Michael can sack the Scion and use a swamp and return the other Haunted Dead, and that will... It means I have to be able to handle this Haunted Dead and the other one, and then the spirits can only attack Chandra to 1. I think I'm just going to start by plussing and attacking.
Don't think I can win by blocking, so... 3, 4, some 1 mana off, returning Haunted Dead and making Ormondal. Don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can win by blocking, so I'll get a 6.
6. I will play Take Inventory, draw 2.
Sure.
Those were good draws.
I'm already dead, so.
Loot with Jace. And... I will
Kill me.
deal you 3 damage. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna flashback. I had so many things.
All right, back here for the conclusion of Sultai Midrange versus Blue-Red Control. Thought my deck was doing a lot of interesting things, some powerful stuff I want to keep exploring. Not sure it lined up particularly well in this matchup. Stuff like Niblis of Frost kind of like trivializes like my incidental bodies that I have laying around. I don't have a lot of removal spells in my main deck. I'm kind of like relying on like Voldaren Pariahing it, which is obviously not an efficient exchange. Your like small ball removal lines up pretty well too. Not sure like my transformational sideboard is well tuned or executed, but did get to like play one game where I like Liliana into Haunting Dead into Distended Mindbender, and that played out pretty well. Yeah, so I think it's worth exploring.
Game obliterated me.
Yeah.
I definitely think the transformational sideboard was much better in this matchup. Although I was frequently just scared of Voldaren Pariah because my deck was so reliant on keeping a Niblis of Frost in play.
Sure, but like I don't know. You can kind of see it coming or whatever. I think post board like I needed to draw like an Ishkana pretty badly to kind of make it your offense like ineffective.
Just as a value card.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just need like some time. Obviously, like Chandra is very good against this deck, so I'm not sure how you can mitigate that. Prized Amalgam, Haunted Dead, like if you can time it to where you do it in instep, can kind of do some stuff about Chandra, but Chandra's definitely good against like the kind of slowish, small creature go wide deck.
Yeah. I think if you just have Haunted Dead anywhere and you can just leave up 2 mana, and it's pretty difficult to Chandra minus to any effect or degree, but I was able to just get the Chandra down on a turn where you were tapped out and untap with it and had a bunch of stuff left over, and it was pretty academic from there if they just untapped the Chandra. But I think you have some tools, but you're right, like it just generally doesn't match up well in the abstract, the way your deck is set up and the way of just what Chandra does.
Yeah. Niblis of Frost was awesome. It was completely dominating in the games where you got to stick it on turn 4.
Which was basically all of that.
Yeah.
I drew a lot of Niblises.
I would definitely be concerned about like how a deck like that would line up against any deck playing like Ultimate Price and draw spells, because like you're playing lots of like small red removal. You do have a lot of burn, which is good. Something I'd be interested in is maybe like Collective Defiance. That would be kind of cool. It's like a split card removal spell / burn spell, and it kind of like fixes your draws, has some synergy with like Take Inventory and Fiery Temper.
Yeah, I could see that. I certainly, when I was building the deck, I wanted to keep the curve as low as possible so you can multiple spell and chain stuff. I could certainly see cutting down on some of the cheaper removal, maybe the Galvanic Bombardment isn't as good as some other options. I think you're probably going to want some number of Incendiary Flows.
Yes,
I think
that
Reshaper is going to be a very popular card. And the deck probably wants to be a little bit more threat dense. I bet you just want more Goblin Dark Dwellers. I think there's only 2 in the list right now.
Yeah.
The Docent probably can be another one, although I think that the Docent's probably more of a sideboard card.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to try it out because it's a new card. I mean, like the game you played it, like it made a thing, which was relevant.
I think it won me the game because you had Pariah. Like it let me actually play through the Pariah. So it was good in that one. The one I played another game and immediately died to Collective Brutality.
Sure.
But I was generally impressed. Like you draw some cards. I never got to Ancestral Recall. That was sort of one of my. I was hoping I would find a third at some point.
So this is the reason I don't think that card's very good. It's like the first one is horrible. It's so bad. Like if you're on the play and you get to cast it, then sure, it's fine. But like if your opponent like plays a creature and you have to cantrip with your 2-mana sorcery, it's just awful.
Yeah, the first one's an enabler. I had sort of planned, so the way the deck is set up...
But it's not an enabler. You have to literally just get lucky.
So my plan was to not really cast the first one very often because you have Jace and Tormenting Voice and Lightning Axe. You can end up like discarding them. Obviously, Lightning Axe is not as good.
But then you have this dead card that you have to just wait to draw the second one and get lucky. Like, you just have to get lucky for it to be good.
You don't have to... you see a lot of cards. You saw I saw the second one consistently. I never saw the third one, and that is certainly an issue because you want to see the second one consistently because 2-mana draw 2 is just a good card.
Yes,
and the 2-mana draw 3 is an absurd card.
Correct.
So you want to see the second one consistently and the third one occasionally. And the way the math works out, you're probably not quite there. I think you need to be able to like self-mill to some extent, probably to see that. Or obviously back in the day we had intuition with accumulated knowledge. So I think you're close. But you're not quite there. The ability to just so easily discard the first copy, even though I never really did. I had the opportunity to do so once, but my hand was so land heavy, I just wanted the cantrip anyway.
I think there's just like also opportunity cost for having to put 4 of that card in your deck. Like you can play 2 or 3 Anticipate, and it's going to be serviceable every time.
Yeah, that is true. And I could definitely see playing Anticipate in this deck instead of in smaller numbers so that you can fit some other cards, maybe more creatures or different red removal so you can handle certain threats. I could definitely see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I have issue with that card. I just don't think it's very good.
Yeah,
but,
I'm certainly not crazy on it, but I feel like I'm the only person within 100 miles of me that thinks the card is remotely playable. So
that's probably true.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, I play the new cards, try them out. See how the games play out. I respect that, but it's just. I don't like it. And
I think if you get in the matchups where your opponent's just playing a bunch of card draw and removal spells, then the game's going to go long and you are going to draw the third copy, and it's going to be incredible.
I do like it more if your deck is just a pile of Dark Dwellers because it's more likely to me that you're just going to draw 2 of them, have the dinky one that whatever gets discarded, or you play it for a cantrip or whatever. You play the second one, and then you Dark Dwellers the second one for another draw 2, and that's actually good.
Yeah, and you have Dark Dwellers and Jace to do that as well. So. Yeah. That never quite came together, but that's usually because I was just killing you. By the time
I mean, this isn't the matchup for it, but against maybe like a Read the Bones mirror or something along those lines, or a more mid-range deck.
Yeah, but generally, Niblis for us that card was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be sick if I can't interact with it. It's just kill you and tap all your things. Like it's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of creatures that you just need to kill immediately. Between like that and I guess like Spellqueller, you actually need to kill a lot too. I could see
kind of, yeah.
I could see a Spiritless playing them. It's a tight balance to try to work when you need a good number of creatures, to apply pressure, but also a good number of spells to make the Niblis effective. But I think it's nice that once you have the Niblis, then you can play different spells other than removal, because between that and Reflector Mage, like they handle creatures well, so you can sort of maybe play Anticipates or counter spells or some other form of interaction.
That deck's interested in like Essence Flux or what have you as well.
Yeah, but in blue-red, like I could potentially see some counterspells in this deck. They're not great with Niblis. I sort of wanted to be more proactive. Was generally like pretty impressed with how it worked.
Yeah, same. I mean, I have issues with decks like these just in theory, but like the cards are powerful in it, and Niblis of Frost performed exceptionally.
Yeah, I certainly expect the deck to be sort of flimsy in certain matchups, especially if they have things like Gideon backed up by removal spells, Fear Niblis. Like green-white doesn't have a lot of removal spells, but certainly if they have the one for your turn 4 Niblis, that matchup can certainly be tricky.
Sure.
Because blue-red is not great at dealing with planeswalkers.
Yeah, that's another reason I like the idea of Collective Defiance, because it's actually like a reasonable answer. It can pair with something to kill a planeswalker.
Yeah.
Just having more general deal damage to Incendiary Flow helps with that issue as well.
Yeah.
You're 2 for 1ing yourself to kill a Gideon or whatever, but you do what you got to do.
Yeah, gotta. Desperate times.
Yep. But that's it for us. We're trying out some new stuff, some new interactions. Eldritch Moon
We're running out of time.
Officially releasing this weekend, and with it comes the first official standard tournament, which is the SG Tour stop in Columbus, Ohio, where the Dream Team is back. Patrick Sullivan and Cedric Phillips.
Is there a third show this year? Maybe third or fourth?
Not many. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and we'll be in Columbus. We'll get some NBA
not
Jam.
we. I'm so sad. I want to go.
I said we.
I really do.
Daggered Majors.
I want to go.
He's by that point. You'll either be on a flight or
I'll be on
across
the world. There's no reason for me to complain.
Yes,
but I really want to play NBA Jam.
I assume NBA Jam with Patrick Sullivan will be a delight. I believe he and Cedric are partnering up.
Of course they are.
Yes, and they are going to know all of the people in the game, despite it being from 1994.
Well, my life is over because I don't get to experience that. But
don't worry, we'll take lots of pictures.
I appreciate that.
You can check Facebook and see all their frivolity.
Yeah, but Eldritch Moon's coming out. This format is sick. There's tons of decks, new interactions. I built a deck around just utter nonsense, and it worked pretty well. So. Yeah. This is just the beginning.
So if you're in the area, you can come out to that. If not, you can check out the stream on SCG Live, watch all the action, see which cards do well, which cards don't do well. It's always
arguably it's better to watch this weekend. So
it might be.
Yeah.
But playing is just so great.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Playing tournaments is awesome.
If you're not in the area, then you get a pretty nice consolation prize. But.
Yeah. Especially with Cedric and Patrick in the booth.
Yep, should be a lot of fun. I'm going to be, as soon as I land, I'll probably immediately check the coverage and watch and see what's doing well. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, the SCG Open is generally sort of set the initial metagame for the Pro Tour.
Yeah, definitely. It sets the tone.
Yeah, that's what people start with, and they obviously work past it. Some decks fall by the wayside, some decks stay. But what we've seen it the last few times with the Invitational for the last Pro Tour with Humans and Bant Company. We saw it last fall with your second place with Green-White. That deck ended up being very popular at the Pro Tour.
Whoops.
So should be a really interesting weekend. There's a ton of cards with Eldritch Moon. We'll see how they interact with the Zendikar cards. I'm excited. I have no idea what I'm going to play.
I'm jealous.
I literally have no idea what I'm going to play. I'm kind of nervous.
Really? You'll figure it out.
I have decks that I kind of like.
Just play a good deck for once.
For once? I always play good decks.
Anyways.
You play Blue-Red Prowess one time!
Yep. He says, I never play Blue-Red decks. I never write about Blue-Red decks. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching.